Well, hey there, Mary Farias here with 5 minutes is better than nothing in personal development. I am reading to you from my book, How to Study Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We are on chapter 8, Decision, page 205 and 6. He says, let us briefly review the events which gave birth to this power. The story begins with an incident in Boston, March 5th, 1770. British soldiers were patrolling the streets by their presence, openly threatening the citizens. The colonists resented armed men marching in their midst. They began to express their resentment openly, hurling stones as well as epithets at the marching soldiers until the commanding officer gave orders, fix bayonets, charge. The battle was on. It resulted in the death and injury of many. The incident aroused such resentment that the Provincial Assembly, made up of prominent colonists, called a meeting for the purpose of taking definite action. Two of the members of that assembly were John Hancock and Samuel Adams. Long live their names. They spoke up courageously and declared that a move must be made to eject all British soldiers from Boston. Remember this, a decision in the minds of two men might properly be called the beginning of the freedom which we of the United States now enjoy. Remember, too, that the decision of these two men called for faith and courage because it was dangerous. Before the assembly adjourned, Samuel Adams was appointed to call on the governor of the province, Hutchinson, and demanded withdrawal of the British troops. The request was granted. The troops were removed from Boston, but the incident was not closed. It had caused a situation destined to change the entire trend of civilization. Strange, is it not, how the great changes, such as the American Revolution and the World War, often have their beginnings in circumstances which seem unimportant. It is interesting also to observe that these important changes usually begin in the form of a definite decision in the minds of a relatively small amount of people. Few of us know the history of our country well enough to realize that John Hancock, Samuel Adams, and Richard Henry Lee of the province of Virginia were the real fathers of our country. How interesting that I kind of snickered when I read the American Revolution, because watching an episode of This Old House with my husband, and they found a book from the American Revolution inside of one of the walls of the house that they were renovating. So law of attraction at work, everybody, law of attraction at work. But decision, that is the point of this page. Decision is key. We have no idea how important one decision can be in the realm of everything in our lives. We have to understand that when we courageously make a decision to step forward, big things can happen as a result. So I want you to think about that and think about the decisions that you're making, or choosing not to think and choosing not to make. So think about decision and start making big ones that will help you move forward. Actually, you know what? They're not necessarily big decisions, but they are propelling you forward. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this today. So follow your intuition, begin making decisions, and you are going to find that you are moving quickly towards your goal. Have a great day.